Hello, adventurer. It's good to see you. You have made it to the morning grind.
Welcome, welcome.
It's the live stream at the beginning of the Geekverse, where we talk about all types of topics in geekdom, gaming, and fantasy, with an emphasis on being constructive and creating the things that we want to exist in the world.
It's all on the grind, Sizemore. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
That's exactly right. There are a lot of adventures to be had today. Dungeons to explore and monsters to slay, and who knows what a random encounter might send our way. That's why we have to prepare, so settle in now for the morning grind with your favorite beverage in hand.
Tea? Or maybe something a little stronger. I've got a few bottles of the old Wynyard left.
Whatever you want. Pull up a chair.
Dude.
If you're feeling fancy, how about a cappuccino? Or a frappuccino? Or how about an espresso?
Just tea, thank you.
Sounds good to me, Gandalf. Whatever you want. I'm just glad you're here.
Everyone is welcome. You can just watch if you want. You don't have to worship anything you don't want to worship.
Thank you, Mike. But be forewarned.
Sometimes we get really strange characters around here.
Wait, what's that you say? Why can't you come and be a part of the stream?
My wife would disown me.
Oh no, I bet she'll be fine with it. Come on in.
Am I scared for my safety? No.
What are we supposed to do?
Everybody do the secret handshake.
Secret cultist handshake.
Oh, now do wizards who love each other.
This, my friend, is a science.
I still don't have kids, but it's fine.
It's all on the grind, son. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
Dude, this would be a sick place to bring the band.
Indeed it would be, Dave. It really would. I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Oh, look, here's someone new.
Is this the cultist meetup?
Yes it is.
Come to hang out? Please accept me. I have nothing else.
Okay, we accept you. Everyone's welcome here.
Brought some snacks.
Well, that makes things even better.
You want some coffee? I don't drink coffee.
You sure? It's cultist coffee.
What makes it cultist coffee?
I'm a cultist and I'm drinking it.
Oh. Then I'll have some.
What exactly is going on here?
I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome. It's so great to have you. Oh, and look, here comes another stranger.
Can we help you?
Yes, fellow cultists. I could really use some food.
Oh yeah? Welcome. We have donuts.
Oh, it's me. I'm glad I'm here. I'm sure you have a few questions for me, though.
What's your name? Who do you work for? What god do you worship?
Great questions, Rob.
I'm Steve King, and I worship Nyarlathotep.
No, not really. I'm just Heath, and I won't be worshiping anything this morning. But I will be your host. Welcome to the office. We're going to have a great time. I've got my coffee ready, because now it's time for the morning grind.
If you could become a fish, that would be amazing. Then I could command you with my mental fish powers.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to the office. Got the microphone turned the right way now. It is great to see everybody here. I hope you are doing well. I feel like I have way too much stuff going on. I do have way too much stuff going on. I have not been able to get up and get at them. I've got two meetings this afternoon, two important meetings this afternoon. So that's going to eat a lot of today. And then we've got another very important table talk tonight. I need to make up the thumbnail for that because Doug Burton is going to be back with us with Brianna De Silva. So we're going to be discussing his theory of the Heroine's Labyrinth this evening, 7:30, back at our regular time. May end up having to move those up. May end up having to move the evening streams up so they don't run too late, but we will see. But tonight we'll do 7:30, which is back to our regular time. Yesterday, I thought was a fantastic conversation with Katie about the tabletop news program. Of course, that was the afternoon. That took a lot of time to prepare. And we had a long morning grind yesterday looking at Masters of the Universe game. And now here I've got the box of power. So I thought we might as well go ahead and open up the box of power and see what's inside the box of power. But man, yeah, I've got so much going on and still trying to get a dinner and a board game ready for Friday night. So just too much. There's too much going on here. Maybe some things, maybe we'll find out what exactly is working well, and then we can pare some things down. What did you think about the tabletop news show yesterday? They're getting off the ground. So it funded. The money got raised, 150,000 for to shoot the 10-15 minute news shows. What do you think about that? Think that will ultimately work? Do you think it's a good idea? Think it's a bad idea? I would be interested in knowing. Who have we got here? Zero the Blade is here. Good morning, Zero the Blade. So great to see you, one of our channel members. Sable Phoenix is here. Good morning. And, I was just wondering about the shipment yesterday, because I remember you said that you had gotten some stuff from ravenkeep.net last week, and they had a arrival date of Monday. So it says, Sable Phoenix says, so my shipment from Ravenkeep, my internet connection may be a bit unstable. I'm going to try a couple things on my side and see if it'll pick back up. We will see. But Sable Phoenix says, so my shipment for Ravenkeep arrived yesterday, and I have to say, if you haven't bought one of their dice trays, do it. The quality is absolutely outstanding. Thank you so much. Yeah, the dice trays on the ravenkeep.net are handmade. Megan and I made them when we were working together on Dinner and a Board Game. Went down to the workshop, made them up. So they are handmade. And I'm so pleased that you think they're so nice. The pictures on the site don't do them justice. They have padding underneath for a slip-free footing that won't scratch. Exactly. They're not going to scratch your gaming table. And the rolling surface is just bouncy enough that it rolls great. Yeah, I think I came up with the perfect, if I do say so myself, rolling surface. That's why they're my favorite dice trays. And that's why I have the dice trays. Oh, I should have. Well, they're sitting in the dungeon. We'll have a dice tray out. I'll have those dice trays out for Dinner and a Board Game. But yes, I think I came up with the perfect rolling surface because it's a play mat, but then it's also foam underneath that play mat, which means that the rolling surface is bouncy, just bouncy enough so that you get really good bounce with the dice. But the sides of the tray are wood, real wood, as Phoenix says, Sable Phoenix says, beautiful real wood. The thing is just gorgeous. Instantly became my favorite dice tray. So not only do you get the bounciness of the dice on the rolling surface, but then you also still get the clatter because the sides are wood. So to me, yes, they are the perfect dice trays. In fact, if you go over here, let's see, shop now. I'll just put a direct link to the dice trays. Right there. Direct link to the dice trays. And don't forget, if you order something on ravenkeep.net, everything over orders of $99 or more ship free. Good morning, Stargate Mind. Good to see you. Zero Theory says, wow, I missed the stream of your talk with her, so hard to say it'll be successful or not, but that's a lot of moolah for an internet project. Yeah, see, it is. It is. Raised $150,000. Of course, they're doing it out in LA. I mean, that's why it's so expensive. Okay, I think my internet connection stabilized. So if there was something wrong with it earlier, I think I fixed the problem. Yeah, it is. Of course, she's doing it out in LA, and she's an actress that's on network shows and things like that. So they're out there working, and so I'm sure nothing about that is cheap. Like when they're talking about paying, and they want to do a show of real high production value, much higher. And I talked to her about that, much higher than what we do here on YouTube. And so they've built the sets. Like how many people do you think have to be on set when you think about crewing something like that? That's why I was like, how long is it going to take you to shoot an episode? Half a day? I mean, because people either pay day rates or half day rates. So it seems like you'd want to be able to get in, if you're trying to get 15 minutes worth of material, that you'd want to be able to do that in half a day. But it also seems like by the time you get them together, that I was thinking about this a lot yesterday afternoon. Yesterday after we spoke, I was like, man, I think you're going to need more than 10, 15-minute episodes after $150,000 expenditure. And I was also thinking that, so, I mean, that doesn't take, now, there is also the fulfilling the Kickstarter reward side of things, right? So the, some of that money goes to getting the shirts and the mugs and whatever other. So there were some physical rewards. There were some physical rewards on that project. So some of that money goes to buying those and then also shipping those, and somebody has to run all of that. If they're not shipping it themselves, somebody has to be paid to ship it. So some of that $150,000 goes toward that. And they said they weren't ever going to do a Kickstarter again. They were trying to do sponsorships. They're trying to get sponsorships from different tabletop game publishers, different tabletop game companies. So I was thinking, now how many different tabletop game companies are there that can sponsor a show like that? There are just a few publishers who could do that. And I suppose that you could also include some major distributors like Asmodee or something like that. But we could probably have a very small, a rather small list of people in the tabletop gaming industry who can afford that. And, Paul Chatto, when I was talking to Paul Chatto had been very interested. He's a YouTuber, if you don't know him. Right now, he does a lot of like the critical reviews of TV shows and movies. But I talked to him because he was interested in some type of show for independent film productions that would promote independent film. And I talked to him about that. There's a table talk where I talked to Paul Chatto about that, if you want to look that up. And I was saying that we could probably do the show in like YouTube format, which is something like this. But he thought that it had to be a much higher quality production quality show, like the Tonight Show kind of quality. It's actually on network television, in order to attract a normie audience and get something that normal people would be willing to accept. He said, yeah, we accept this kind of thing here on YouTube, but that if you want to a greater reach, it has to look better. It has to look like what people see on network television. So that's what, at least, so they're trying that. It's much more difficult to do with film than film review. But I thought this was an interesting kind of case study that's being done over here on Tabletop Games. And so I did send him the link to all of that, just in case he were interested. But yeah, it's a lot of money. Well, okay, Zero the Blade says, having a tabletop news network is a great idea because of what they can cover without limitations on small and big name games. But it's expensive. It doesn't. So you got $150,000 and you're going to make 15 minutes, 15-minute episodes. So it doesn't take a lot of math to realize that they need $150,000 to produce 150 minutes worth of film, right? Worth of footage for us to watch. And so that means they're spending money at a rate at $1,000 a minute. So for every minute of footage that we're going to see, that's costing $1,000. Now, that's probably cheap. That's actually probably being done really cheap. Like when you're talking about being out in LA and things like that, and the number of people who are on set, because you could see somebody costing $1,000 a day just to be on set, like one of the hosts. So that's probably pretty cheap. So they are probably keeping prices low. And they were talking about, well, that some of their producers, as far as constructing the set and things like that, and getting the Kickstarter together and doing the test footage and all of that, it seemed like all the producers and people were working for free. So they haven't had to shell out money up front. So $1,000 a minute is probably cheap, except for that does seem expensive to me to do tabletop news. Like, because the reason I found them is because I was thinking, since I've been experimenting with different kinds of formats here, or, constantly experimenting with different kinds of things, like with the morning grind, I was like, you know what, since we're going a little bit longer, maybe we could have like a news section in the beginning before we get to like the main topic or something like that, or at least sometimes. And I was like, but then I'd have to come up with the news. And that's how I found that. But it seems like, okay, I got a deal for you. Actually, so this is cheap. So I can go even cheaper. I tell you what. You send me $750 a minute, and on Fridays here on the Morning Grind, I'll recap tabletop news for you. We'll do 15 minutes on the Morning Grind on the tabletop news and what's been happening last week. I'm serious. I can do it for $750 a minute. I can. I'm serious. If I could get paid $750 a minute to do a 15-minute section on Fridays on tabletop news, I would definitely do that. I would definitely do that. Of course, when I was thinking, maybe I could do the news on the Morning Grind, I would be spending substantially less than $700 or $1,000 a minute on it. So I don't know. Yeah, LA comes with overhead, so we will see. Oh, okay, it was bad, but it's gotten fixed. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, LA comes with a big overhead, so I don't know. It could be a great idea. Of course, I want these things to be successful. I want things in the Geekverse to be successful. And that sounds like a good idea. But I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical. And that can, of course, change my mind. I'm very happy to be proven wrong. I've been wrong on things, of course. So could be wrong on this, but I'm just saying that. Oh yeah, like what Daniel says, I think the TNT thing is a good idea, but their current business plan is a bit doomed. Sites like Kotaku and other news partners are dying. Now, at least they are trying to focus exclusively, like seeing on video, but video production. But it seems to me, especially with the way YouTube is, that YouTube values it values a lot of material, and of course that can change because its algorithm can change. It just seems like if I had $150,000 and I was trying to get a tabletop news show off the ground, I would want to get a lot more material. I would say, listen, we got to generate a lot more material than 150 minutes to be released over 10 weeks. And especially if they are what was I saying? Oh yeah, especially if they're going out to things like Gen Con. Like she actually talked about a lot of different things that she wanted to cover, which seems like there's not a lot of time in 15 minutes to cover all of that. But she also talking about going out to conventions and things like that. And that would be expensive. Like if you sent a 3-person film crew out to Gen Con and you had to, buy plane tickets and house them out there and pay their per diem and then shoot and then edit all of that. I mean, if I were one of the producers, I was like, now you got to come back with more than 5 minutes worth of footage for like a 5-minute 5-minute section on Gen Con. Like if you're going out there, you got to be like producing live streams. Like you got to be out there live streaming and doing a whole bunch of stuff. Sable Phoenix says that's pretty cheap, actually, especially out in LA. Yeah. Zero Theory says much of that could be one-time expenses. If you're talking cameras and whatever, so a big setup, then hopefully the cost per episode is less. I doubt it. Could be. But okay, so they've already set up but they already set up like the set, right? They already have the set set up. So either they all did that free, or they're expecting eventually to recoup that cost. So that could be a negative, sitting there. They could just say, we did it free, we write it off, or sitting on the company books could still be the cost of that construction. And yet it was kind of, put up by the producers forward the time and money to get everything set up. I would highly doubt that they're buying cameras. See, it seems like something that you would do, that you would rent the cameras, because it seems like to me that what would happen, because I've been through that on a smaller scale, but also I've been to some workshops on film and stuff like that. That like, do you as the production crew, or do you as the production company there want to be maintaining like camera equipment and all of that? And chances are you don't. So I was like, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to buy cameras and things like that for the cultists. So the cameras came with the director of photography. So I bet that's the way that it is. That if they hire in, if they have a sound guy and a director of photography that comes in for each of their episodes, I bet that they bring that equipment. So that's part of that cost. I would bet that. And that way they don't have to maintain camera equipment or any kind of equipment like that. I bet that's the way that would be done. Because that would be a huge outlay if you were doing all that. Stargate Mind says, also, it's a girl with 28,000 subs, LOL. Money follows that worldwide. Beautiful women with lots of subs. Daniel says, they're also doing gaming segments in addition to the 15-minute news stuff, so they have material to work with. Yeah, I think they'll end up having to expand that. Like now, but also like, well, I was thinking like when they were talking about like doing the highlights of people's live streams, I mean, that's going to require, I mean, somebody doing a lot of work, looking at live streams, and even if they're eventually planning on having other people send them material, you still have to have somebody working that entire week to correlate that material, and get it into some format. So it's a big project. I hope it works. I think they're going to need a lot more material than that, and I think it's going to be too expensive. But I could be wrong. Maybe they change things up, and maybe they adapt, and maybe get things going. Because I have seen some very expensive tabletop projects. I've seen some very expensive tabletop projects try to get off the ground, and some of them had even done pilots and complete episodes that were like 60 minutes long, that were professionally produced out in LA, that level of production quality and stuff like that. And we're trying to get pitched to places like Hulu or to Netflix or something like that. And they just did not go. So they were just huge money lost. Zero the Blade says, I remember doing some camera equipment and sound repair. You have to be careful because some equipment is compressed in the housing. It's not easy when they pop. Daniel says, I'm pretty sure the highlights from other live streams is going to be Critical Role and Dimension 20, who are already professional partners. Well, I would guess that too. I mean, I guess that's where you would start for sure. And I don't know. So we'll just see. But on the other hand, my offer stands. In fact, I'll go down to $500 a minute. And I'll do the news for 15 minutes on Fridays. I will. All right, let's run to the messages, and then we'll pick up with the box of power here. This month, there are several things going on Ravenkeep.net. First, War of Kings is the game of conquest, kingdom building, and strategy that my brother and I developed. It's Catan meets Risk, but there are only 5 boxes of War of Kings remaining, and the game won't be reprinted. Also, Enchantress, the game of wizardly combat, also designed by my brother and me, is on Ravenkeep.net, but there are just 6 copies of that game left, and it will also not be reprinted. So if you'd like either of these games for your table, please pick up one from the website now. If you've been enjoying what I'm doing here on the channel, please consider becoming a channel member by clicking that join button. Your support is so important, and this month, we have a special offer for all of the channel members. If you join, you'll get a $7.99 discount on all of the custom mugs from Ravenkeep.net, Cultist Coffee, Witch's Brew, or Fish Do Not Drink Tea. Once you've joined the channel, just check the members only post on the YouTube channel's community tab for the discount code. Remember, all orders from the website of $99 or more ship free, but I can only ship to the United States. And thank you for being here with me live on The Morning Grind. And if you're watching on replay, welcome to you as well. It's great to have you here. If you're enjoying The Morning Grind, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. It will really help the channel grow, and I would be very thankful. We also have the Ravenkeep Discord server you can join if you would like to be a part of the community. All right, that's what you need to know. Let's get to the main topic. All right, so let me bring up the auxiliary camera system. And, let's do our sip, too. Everybody got your drink? I'm drinking water this morning. Needed water this morning. So let's drink. Two deep breaths, deep inhales, complete exhales, and then sip. Here we go. All right. Sounds good. Stargate Mind says, in the news today, Go First Dice. Pretty cool. I saw that just before the stream. I don't know what that is. Hey, James. Okay, this right here, and we're going to get it out of the box here in just a moment, but this is what they call the box of power. So I guess this was like their expansion set. And this art on here reminds me a lot of a poster that I had up in my room as a kid. Let me bring the microphone over here. I don't think it's in exactly the same art style because but it's similar. I don't remember. I just remember I had this huge poster. There was this battle that battle like this that had basically all the action figures up to that point, and He-Man and Skeletor fighting in the beginning. Yeah, we got Whiplash, we got Clawful over here. We got that we haven't seen before. I forget the bad Hawk's name, but Buzz Off as well. Manny Faces. He-Man on the Dragon Walker over here. I never had a Dragon Walker. I wanted one, but I never had one. I did have this thing up here though, and I did have Stridor. That's what it said. Stridor. I see Spydor, Stridor on the cover. Webster. Yeah, where is he? Oh, well, right here. Yep. Okay. Yep. Webster. Yep. Zoar. Actually, that looks like the Wind Raider up there. So that's in the back. That's behind me. Look. The new Wind Raider. So, all right. So I remember this now. So, because this looks like it's just a box of a whole bunch of different heroes and villains. And by the way, this one does have Prince Adam. Twice I've said, maybe once in the Discord server and then once here, that Prince Adam wasn't here. But then we saw Prince Adam as an NPC. Like, I thought that was kind of weird that that Prince Adam wouldn't be on here. And somebody asked about it, and I was looking, and I was like, well, nope, no Prince Adam. But then Prince Adam was an NPC in one of the game scenarios, I guess, or at least one game scenario that's in the core box, because it has a little token there. But here, this box is going to have the people who were the NPCs in it. So Queen Marlena is here, King Randor is here, and Prince Adam is right here. So Prince Adam confirmed. Prince Adam is in this box. So, yeah, that would have been a major oversight. I was kind of disappointed in that as well. So Prince Adam is here as well. Maybe you probably can't take He-Man in the scenarios where you've got Prince Adam, because there were scenarios where, or, parts of the stories where he was out there and needed heroes to be saving him because he couldn't turn into He-Man for some reason. So, all right. Let's go ahead and open this up. Yeah, I like Marlena. She had some great stories. I did on this channel, there are reviews of He-Man episodes. I was going over what I thought were the best He-Man episodes. They're on this channel someplace. There's a lot of stuff on this channel. I maybe should promote them more. But I did watch throughs of some of my favorite He-Man episodes, which included some of the Queen Marlena episodes, at least one of them. Because, yeah, she had a good storyline. Let's see. Well, there we go. So what do we got? Okay, box of power. So this is a large box here. There we go. This way we can see what it is right here. So the first thing we get is scenarios. We get what am I doing with all this box? I got to clean up in here before table talk. Before table talk, that'd be nice. Before dinner and a board game. So we got more punch outs here. So we've got more terrain. Now over here, I noticed we've got. Oh, yeah, we're supposed to have one of these because this is tracking their hit points, right? Spikor. Look, Spikor's in here. And Ninjor. And it looks like a lot of, or at least some of the Snake Men. And we got Hordak here. So we got new people here. So we should have one of those to track hit points for everybody. I guess that's a big part of this. Look, a new He-Man. Buzz Off. Do we have an alternate Tila? We might. And the Sorceress. I think you were asking about whether or not we had the Sorceress. So we have the Sorceress in here. I like that picture of the Sorceress. So, all right. So we came with more scenarios. more all of the more terrain and all of the pieces for our characters. And then this in here. So what? Okay, so we kind of know. I don't know. Should I open all of these things? Maybe I don't, because we kind of know what they are since we went through the game quite a bit yesterday. So these should be the power cards, the additional power cards. The evil bird's name is Screech, 3 E's. I had to look that up. Also couldn't remember. I did have Screech. Clamp Champ. Yep, I saw him. Clamp Champ is here. So this should be power cards for them, for all the new characters, as well as the like initiative cards, right, that we had when we were trying to activate them. Look at that stack. Look at that stack of new cards. Well, okay, let me open this so we can see what the characters are. Yeah, we're about to open up. That way I'm not scattering all of the power cards, the skill cards. We got Extendar here. I never had Extendar. Snout Spout. Now I did have Snout Spout. Stonedar. Roboto. I had Roboto. Mossman. Had Mossman. Here's Clamp Champ himself right there. Always a favorite. Rock On. Mechanic. I had Mechanic. Manny Faces. Had Manny Faces. Fisto. I can't remember if I had Fisto or not. I know I had Jitsu, but I'm not sure if I have. Yeah, Rock On too. Stonedar and Rock On. But I can't remember whether or not I actually had a Fisto action figure. I can't remember. Buzz Off. I had Buzz Off. We also have Hero, which I know basically nothing about. King Grayskull right here. This is our battle axe wielding He-Man. And so in this case, we notice that He-Man has 1 point of armor, because He-Man had no armor in the original one. But in this one, he's got his battle axe out instead of his power sword, which I think is that's a nice variation here. So he's holding his shield and he's got his battle axe. So that's pretty classic. That's pretty classic. If you're not going power sword, going shield and battle axe, very classic. Mossman came with a warning not to slime him in the Hordak slime pit. I don't remember that. Because he was basically a green and flocked Beastman. Commander at Arms. So now we're going to have him man at arms with the mace that we didn't really see. Oh yeah, we do have an alternate Teela, the goddess Teela, in her snake armor. I've got Teela in snake armor sitting around someplace. And actually, I've got over there. I made this guy. This guy is a custom build, and how I built this guy is on the channel too. So I did back when I was working with some action figures. Let me solo me for a second. So this is Wundar, and he's a custom action figure that I did. I took a He-Man and I made this guy right here down in the workshop. It was a really neat project. It was just like an afternoon. I just wanted to go down to the workshop. I would still like to be able to go down to the workshop, but everything in my life has migrated to this table, but to this desk. But I did go down to the workshop because I wanted a Wundar figure, and this was before you could get them because he was re-released as part of the classics line. And but before that happened, I just converted my own He-Man. And because the only other way to get him was on eBay for like $200 or $300 or something ridiculous like that. So I just had a good time down in the workshop, and I made up Wundar. And so you see him behind me. But I really want, he goes so well with the, what I call the green goddess. But the Eternian goddess. And she came out as part of the classics line. And so I think Wundar and Green Goddess go really well together, but I'm not really happy with the paint job on her. And so that would be another thing that I really want to do. I really like to have Wundar and the Green Goddess sitting next to each other, but she needs a better paint job. And you could really do a nice, wash and paint job of all the texture on the armor there. And also, like, her boots, I think, need some help. Like, the silver is a weird color on her boots. So I just think it's weird. So I think that we could do a repaint on her. That's another thing that could be done on some hypothetical crafter's corner one night. And that way I could have Green Goddess and Wundar sitting over there. Thank you, James. Isn't the sorceress's real name also Tila Nar or Tila Nal or something like that? I don't remember. For some reason, something like that sounds familiar. I believe somebody's going to know, but that could be, but I don't recall. The classics version of that goddess figure is extremely fragile. Actually, this is not classics. This is sometimes I get that confused. Like, classics is we should get this right, because I think I've gotten this wrong a couple of times. But the classics line is like that He-Man right there, the one in the middle. This one right here is actually classics, because that one was the one that was sculpted by the Four Horsemen Studios. This is like that Wundar figure was like is vintage line, I think. There was vintage line, and then there was also another one. Let's see, it may have been vintage that I didn't like. There was another release of the same size 5-inch figure, and I got a couple of them, but I didn't really like them because I didn't like their articulation. They were supposed to be articulated more like 1980s action figures, which means not a lot of articulation. The new line like that that Wundar has much better articulation than they did in the 80s. Yeah, Tila's mother. Yeah, it just needs so much help. Fisto is the brother of Man-at-Arms, aka Duncan's Origins. Thank you, Motu Origins. That's the name. So vintage. I think vintage was the line that I wasn't all that happy with, but the Origins line was good. Okay. Anyway, back to this box. So Goddess Tila. The Sorceress. I really like that Sorceress picture. That's really nice. Fisto on Stridor. Oh, so we also have Zoar in here. So Zoar is here. Okay, bad guys. Whiplash. I had Whiplash. I had Zoar too. Whiplash, had him. Clawful, don't think I had him. Scareglow. I didn't have Scareglow. I had the little mini comic with Scareglow in it, though. So I must have had some other character. It might have been Randor that came with. Blast Attack. I don't remember him at all. Spikor. I had Spikor. Stinkor. I definitely had Stinkor. He was one of the classics that was always my thing. Mosquitor, I don't remember him at all either. I don't remember Mosquitor, but who is the guy who compiled the gigantic encyclopedia on all of the Masters of the Universe figures? It's this massive volume, huge amount of work. And he's got this huge YouTube channel dedicated to action figures. I was noticing that he always talks about Mosquitor, one of his favorites. Faker. I'm glad we got Faker. I love Faker. He's one of my favorites, and I know he's probably got a cult following as well. I've got a Faker up there, and I got the Faker for the Classics line. Faker for Classics is someplace around here. I've really got to also sort my action figures again. Faker for the Classics line is here. But I really want, I need to get him a better head. There's some of these other He-Mans that I think really need a better head. And I've seen them sculpted, but I was going to get them and try to paint them up. But man, they were expensive. Tila Na. Google Phoenix says, just Googled it. She's Tila Na. Thank you. Now we know. Blast Attack was a Horde member. Ah, okay. Well, that would explain that. I don't remember him from the TV show. I watched the She-Ra TV shows, mostly She-Ra. Mosquito too. Okay, that makes yes. Pixel Dan. I'm thinking of Pixel Dan. Sure am. Because I actually think that speaking of repaints, you can see well up this way, right, and over here, Faker is sitting up here, but he needs like washes and stuff like that too. He would look so much cool. Any sign of Modulock? I remember Modulock. I had Modulock. Not yet. We will see. Ninjor. Web Store. Too Bad. Oh, wait. So we got, I was like, wait, what's going on here? So we got Web Store here. Too Bad Tuvar with Iron Gauntlet. We have Too Bad Badra. I don't remember them having different names, but they probably did. So looks like we've got two characters for Too Bad. Zodak. Now, I always wanted a Zodak. In fact, I got one. I always wanted a Zodak action figure, but I never had one as a kid. And because I never had one as a kid, oh yeah, there he is. So because I never had one as a kid, when the classics came out, I got Zodak. So that's why Zodak's back there. And I think he needs some painting too. It'd be so, but when I'm doing Crafter's Corner and like painting up the miniatures, then we can do a dinner and a board game with them. So that's motivation that you can actually do something with your figures once they're painted, your miniatures once they're painted. I can't find anything to do with my action figures once they're painted, so there's a little bit less motivation to paint them up. Oh, we have Laser Light Skeletor. I don't remember anything about that, but we got Laser Light Skeletor here. Lady Slither. I don't remember her, but looks cool for sure. Oh, we have another Skeletor variation, Terror Claws Skeletor. Now, actually, I remember making kind of fun of this one because they did go through. I mean, of course, there is some ridiculous stuff in here in general. Like some of these you might not want to play with, but I remember Terror Claws Skeletor. Like Skeletor is trying to come up with something new. Now, how is he going to defeat He-Man this time? He's going to defeat him with his giant hands. His giant hands, people. So Terror Claws Skeletor. I didn't have that one. James says, I really dig the shade of blue they used for Faker. Yeah, that was a really nice Faker image. The art here has just been incredible. Skeletor joined them as punishment because they hated each other. I guess that's why they were supposed to like punch themselves in the face. Laser Light Skeletor and He-Man were the final releases in the original line. Mail away only, if I recall. Yep, then I wouldn't have had it. So Hurricane Hordak is here. So we do have the Hordak making an appearance. We have an alternate Trapjaw, Bounty Hunter Trapjaw. And then we have Scorpia. Fangor. Fangor. Okay, so that's who that is. And then we have all of the same characters again, but this is their AI character cards. We remember that from last time. So this is the oh yeah, so that's this. So this is player character controller. So if they're being played by basically the game master, you use this side. Player side, controller side. And then over here, all of the AI cards. So that's what all that is. So that's there. We got these. I guess this is like a case for dice or something. I'm not sure. Or maybe cards, but maybe dice cases or something. I'm not sure. Does it say on the components? 61 plastic models, 18 3D tokens, 323 cards, 54 tokens, 5 terrain overlays, 2 cube trays. Oh, cube trays. Okay. Because you got to have those power cubes. And then 1 scenario booklet. Now, what is this right here? That says lesson of the day. Lesson of the day. Keep this deck face down. At the end of the game, shuffle the deck and then draw and read 1 card. Okay. How's he chew? Fright zone in the background for Hordak and Scorpia. Yes. With great difficulty. Oh, you're talking about Fangor? Yeah, Fangor. Yeah, Fangor has multiple problems, I think, with his his front teeth. Let's see. Trying to open this. So we have new terrain cards. Well, a few new terrain cards for the types because we have web that's included now. We have a stink cloud that's included now, and we have moss that's included now. Seems like they go with characters. We've got mounts, battle cat, swift wind, panther, He-Man mini clone. This is a minion He-Man mini clone and minion Skeletor mini clone. And then lesson of the day. Well, let's read one. Let's go ahead and have our lesson of the day. What is our He-Man lesson of the day? Forgiving your teammates. If you lost today's game, you might have the urge to blame one of your teammates, but you should remember that they tried as hard as they could, and in the end, it's about having fun and not just about winning. Let's do one more. Lesson of the day. Luck of the dice. Sometimes you can try your absolute best, Orko says, but things are outside your control, like dice. But things outside your control, like dice, just weren't in your favor today. Don't let it get you down. Everyone has unlucky days sometimes. Okay, so we also have moral lessons here with our He-Man card. Yeah, we got Swift Wind. So it actually makes me want to have... Did I not get something that had She-Ra or something in it? We do have Swift Wind, though. Swift Wind and Battle Cat. Like I said, we won't go through all the skills, but that's what all that is. So I'm guessing that down beneath... Here are the characters. Also very nicely done with the top tray telling you exactly how to put this back together once you get them all out. Yeah, it's nice. So they're even game themed. Okay, so the top tray here. So we've got new objective markers. James says, if they reoffer this on Kickstarter with the She-Ra expansion, I'm all in. I mean, there's probably enough stuff to do She-Ra with as well. Yay, Neutromancer. Looks nice. Yes, it does. So, yeah, so we've got new objective markers, because the objective markers last time were just, tokens or something. So now we've got the sword and the stone. Boulders, because remember, these were significant because you could pick them up and throw them at people, right? So now we've got boulders for the setup. Here are our mini He-Men clones. Two poses at that. And then here we have the mini Skeletor clones as well. I like both of those. Staff raised, and then just kind of yelling at you in a haughty way. That might be the laser Skeletor guy, but that's just a nice Skeletor in general. Here's huge hand Skeletor. Here's Fangor. Yeah. Web Store. Or Webster. Web Store. That's like what Ravenkeep is. The Web Store. The okay, Hordak right there. That was does it tell you who it is on the bottom? No, it's got a number. Slither Queen or something like that. That's Scaraglow. Here's Stinkor. I think that's a good figure. I like that. I remember Stinkor. He was one of the major bad guys I always had. Here is the elusive Zodak. So we've got him. The female horde woman. Here's Faker. Oh, there we go. It said it was Hurricane Hordak. He's got the whatever this thing is. Here's Mosquitor. And I also used Spikor quite a bit. So we got Spikor too. Although, his weapon, it's very nice that his weapon is so safe. Because even his his trident here that extends out, like it's got these balls on the end of it. You wouldn't actually want him to hurt anybody, or you wouldn't want to hurt anybody. Here's Too Bad. And Whiplash. Scorpia. Yes, thank you. You did too, but you filled it with cologne. I also had that spitting snake guy. Yeah, I had him too. That was Cobra Khan. I had him too. Yeah, you wouldn't want OSHA to come down on him with something that's, too dangerous. Whoa, Spikor. I don't know where you think you're going with that, but you're going to need to put some tennis balls on the end of your trident. So then right here, let's go straight to the sorceress. I'm a fan. Yeah, my parents didn't like that one. I remember they were surprised that all of a sudden I was spraying water place. I'm like, don't do that. So we got, here is Fisto. So that's what? Hero? Don't know much about him. Buzz Off. Very cool. I had, Snout Spout also spit water. Admittedly, one of the more ridiculous characters, I think. I also had the Rio Grande, and that was kind of ridiculous. I haven't seen Rio Grande here, which is probably good to leave him out. Snout Spout could also probably be left out. This is King Grayskull. And also, I don't know a whole lot about him either. Mechaneck. So now here is Fisto on Stridor. That's quite a miniature. I like it. Mossman. Roboto. Yeah, two of the Meteor guys, Rock On and Stone Dar, and I never had them. I saw them on a poster or something like that. Here is Clamp Champ. Oh, here's Zoar. So it's a smaller one. No, that's not. Is that Zoar? I guess it is. It's in this color. So that's probably Zoar right there, sitting on top of this perch. Goddess Tila. Makes sense. Here is He-Man mounted. Wait, He-Man didn't come mounted? So we don't have He-Man. I see. So we don't have He-Man on Battle Cat mounted, because we had He-Man on Battle Cat with his sword. But here we just have Battle Cat as a standalone miniature, which is also great, because oftentimes when they were fighting, he wasn't necessarily riding Battle Cat. In fact, is it more likely that when he was actually in a fight, he dismounted? He kind of rode into battle on Battle Cat, but then he and Battle Cat fought independently. So I guess that's why you could have a separate Battle Cat, and actually probably the same way with Panther right here. But then He-Man in a nice action pose with shield and battle axe. Now here's Man-at-Arms with his mace. And our Extendar Knight here. Sable Phoenix says, what scale are these? They're some legit minis. And if they're the right size, you could easily repurpose some of them for other games with a paint job. You could. They strike me as similar in size to the, just without a comparison, but to the Song of Ice and Fire miniatures that Games Workshop did. So you could repurpose some of them. And of course, there was going to be a He-Man role-playing game at one point, and somebody told me, I think on the Morning Grind, that it was canceled, because I heard that the people who do the Cortex game were going to be doing a He-Man RPG, but that somebody told me on the Morning Grind that had been canceled, because I was like, okay, if there's going to be a He-Man RPG, I'm going to have to get that. But if you're playing a He-Man RPG, because I've been thinking about that. Actually, maybe would Savage Worlds be good for a He-Man campaign? There should be, and there probably is, some like a fan-made He-Man RPG out there. Now, I remember the one that I had shot like it was a mist. He deliberately misted stuff because, or maybe it was supposed to be. Maybe it was supposed to be like that, because I remember Snout Spout shot like a thin stream of water, but that he lost like the snake guy I had was like misting water. Oh, James Bacon says, I would love Man-at-Arms leading my Ultramarines, but I can't tell if they're heroic scale 32. That would be pretty cool. I don't have Marines around here to test those out. Yeah, there's got to be out there. Savage Worlds can do just about anything. Just get the Fantasy Companion and plug He-Man in there. Don't see why not. Is this the official one? I think they made a Cortex one recently, or it's being made. See, that's what I thought. But so I don't know its stat. In fact, let me do a quick Google search. He-Man RPG. I think somebody told me on the Morning Grind when we were looking at the Cortex that the He-Man RPG was canceled. Because that was what the people who are running Cortex were trying to do. Like they were trying to be the company that made IP, like role-playing games for different IPs using their Cortex system. Okay, so Dice Breaker says Cortex has indefinitely get down with these pop-ups. Cortex has indefinitely paused development of He-Man RPG Legends of Grayskull after sale to Direwolf Digital. Okay, so there we go. Tabletop studio Cortex Role-Playing has reportedly stopped development. This was back in August, end of August 2002. Has reportedly stopped development on Legends of Grayskull as a consequence of former parent company Fandom selling Cortex to Dire Wolf Digital. So, okay. So that did get paused. Probably an indefinite hold. Yeah. Yeah, I would too. I would too. I don't need any more, like we keep saying, but I would buy it in a second as well. James says. So we got Cringer down here. See, we've got Swift Wind. So for some reason, Swift Wind is here, but we don't have like She-Ra and Bo. We got a couple of the Horde characters. But Queen Marlena. Now, I love the Queen Marlena figure. I wish I had a Queen Marlena action figure. I was looking at some people who had done like custom things, and they were expensive to get too. But Queen Marlena is here, looking very good. King Randor looks a lot like his action figure, as all of these do here. So he's going out in his armor here. And here is Prince Adam. That is here. We do have Prince Adam. Prince Adam is here. And then I do think it's fun too. These are some very, very classic looking Eternian plants. Because remember, there was in the core rules, if you were standing next to one of these plants, they could try to eat you or something. And so I think it's pretty cool that you now actually have these really good looking Eternian plants, because it does seem like He-Man was frequently under attack by some type of vegetation. So we've got that. Who the heck is Direwolf Digital? I don't know. Yeah. Zero Theory says, I found a fan-made PDF. It would be okay to post in Discord. Yeah, I think that can be posted in Discord. So yeah, that would be great. I'd check that out. Well, that's a shame. At least I have my Masters of Umdar to play my cheap knockoff. Eternian Flora. It's a doozy. Yeah, so all right. So that's what's inside this. Let me set this back over here. And I'm going to load this back up. That's more craziness to paint. But it seemed like you could have a perfectly reasonable, a very reasonable collection just based on the base set. Because those were some classic figures and classic characters that were inside that basic set. Right there. Oh. Right here. But you know, CMON and Kickstarters, sometimes you just have to have excess. Nothing exceeds like excess. So we got some excess. And there's also appears to be some excess over there on the newest Zombicide Kickstarter campaign. There's a lot going on over there as well. So there we go. That is the box of power. Now, I've got two other things, like I said, because this is excess. Let's see. Double check the expansion list for this game. There is a She-Ra set. Okay, well, that makes sense then. So I guess I just didn't get it. I remember having a He-Man board game which had a grid and some sort of weird moving board spots. I don't remember that. Oh, I remember certain things would make the entire board rotate 90 degrees. I didn't have that one. I don't remember having any kind of He-Man game. Sable Phoenix says, that's a real bucket load of minis. How much did this cost? I don't remember. It was so long ago. I guess I could look up my pledge level. So, but now I'm a little bit upset that there was a She-Ra expansion, and I guess I just didn't get it. So there's but yeah, so whatever it was, I don't know. But what I did get was these two things. Assault on Castle Grayskull. So an expansion for Masters of the Universe, the board game. So this comes with, well, some extra miniatures. But something else. So there's Assault on Castle Grayskull, and then this right here. Well, I can't even put it up over here. Let me go solo. This thing. This is my plastic Castle Grayskull pack. You know, I saw some absolutely beautiful re-releases of both Snake Mountain, some exceptional releases of Snake Mountain and Castle Grayskull from that classics line. Man, they're nice. But first of all, I can't. Why would I? I mean, it's not like I'm going to sit and play with them. I don't have kids or anything like that who would play with them. And plus, they were freaking huge. So, I mean, where would you even put them? But they looked really nice. I was seeing Pixel Dan go over the new Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain, which are absolutely fantastic. I mean, just absolutely fantastic. But why would I get them and where would I put them? But this is a miniature plastic Castle Grayskull. Yes, I had Castle Grayskull as a kid. I had Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain. So I don't really feel the need to have two gigantic, mega 8-foot long play sets or something like that in this rather small house. My house is filling up with tabletop gaming stuff at an alarming rate. But this is a small Castle Grayskull, so this will be the throwback to Castle Grayskull. So Masters of the Universe 3D action game by Golden Games in the 80s. You have the power. Looks like I didn't get the Horde expansion group with She-Ra, Snakes, and Hordes. Well, that's disappointing. It might be out there someplace. Eventually, I guess it'll be on eBay or something like that. But I think that I've got 2 meetings I have got to do. We've been going for an hour. So I've got 2 meetings this afternoon. And then tonight, 7:30 p.m., we've got table talk as well. I got other things I've got to do. And then these 2 meetings and then table talk tonight with Doug and Brianna, where we'll be talking about his, analyzing his theory, because he expounded his theory of the Heroine's Labyrinth. We're going to be digging into it and analyzing in detail. Brianna said that she has lots of notes, and Brianna and Doug have never met. So they're going to be live tonight at 7:30. So I got to set all of that up. So I'm going to wrap this up. We'll do a day 3 of Motu. That's what we'll do. We will do day 3 of Masters of the Universe, and we'll take a look at that expansion set and what's inside this Castle Grayskull. So, yep, see you tonight. And then I will see you tomorrow for more He-Man board game, and have a productive day, have a creative day, grind on until I see you tonight. Later, everybody.